Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome to our English period, and today let us continue the same chapter in our English literature, The Three Questions, written by Leo Tolstoy. So far we understood that how the king had posed three important questions to his learned men and how he was disappointed by all their answers, and finally he decided to go and meet a hermit who lived in a forest, and he went to meet him without taking his bodyguard, without taking his horse, and he simply dressed because he had learned from the people that the hermit spoke only with the common men and not with the royal people. So he dressed himself like a commoner. And then now let us see what happened next. When the king arrived, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. So what was the hermit doing? He was digging the ground. He greeted the king but went on digging. Not because just he was a king. Was he aware of his identity? No. Because the king had come dressed as a commoner. So he just thought that he was a common person. But because he was there, he had come to meet him. So the hermit greeted him. After greeting the king, he continued to dig the ground. The hermit was frail and weak. Frail means delicate. The hermit was frail and weak, and each time he struck the ground with the spade and turned over a little earth, he breathed heavily. The king went up to him and said, "I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer three questions." And then he told his three questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? This was the first question. Who are the people I most need, and to whom should I therefore pay most attention? Is the second one. And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? Was the last question. The hermit listened to the king but said nothing. He just spat on his hand and resumed digging. Why do you think he must have spat on his hand? So that he gets a good grip on the handle of the spade. So he spat on his hand and resumed. Resumed is to continue. He resumed to dig the earth. The king watched in silence for a while. Then, feeling sorry for the hermit, he said, "You are tired. Let me take the spade and work a while for you." So now the king took on the charge of digging the earth. The hermit silently handed over the spade and sat down on the ground. When he had dug two beds, that is two columns, the king stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit again gave no answer, but rose, stretched out his hand for the spade and said, "Now rest a while and let me work a bit." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. So he had to ask his three important questions twice to the hermit. But both the times the hermit preferred to stay quiet, preferred to stay silent. He did not answer, he did not say a word. Then the king continued to dig the earth. And then 1 hour passed, and then the other. Means 2 hours had passed. The sun began to sink behind the trees, that is to set behind the trees. It is evening now. And the king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise one, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, please say so, and I will go home." Now the king seems to have lost his patience, and therefore he is now reminding or requesting the hermit to answer to his three important questions. And if he did not know, and he said that if he didn't know the answers, then he can say like that, so that he can go back home. Now, answering to all these things, instead of answering to all these questions, the hermit drew the king's attention to somebody who was running towards them. So here it is. "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. "Let us see who it is." The king turned round and saw a bearded man come running out of the forest. The man held his hands pressed against his stomach, and blood was flowing from under them. Under them means from under his hands. When he reached the king, he fainted. He must have fell unconscious because of the loss of blood. He fainted and fell to the ground, moaning feebly. Moaning feebly is to cry, to give a weak cry out of pain. The king and the hermit unfastened the man's clothing, means they removed his shirt. There was a large wound in his stomach. So the bearded man was badly injured in his stomach. Somebody must have stabbed him there. The king washed it as well as he could and bandaged it with his handkerchief and a towel the hermit had. But the blood would not stop flowing, and the king again and again removed the bandage soaked with warm blood and washed and rebandaged the wound. When at last the blood stopped flowing, the man revived, came back to his sense, and asked for something to drink. The king brought some fresh water and gave it to him. So this is how the king nursed this bearded man. Was he known? No. He was a stranger, both to the hermit also and to the king also. But at that point of time, what was the thing that, what was the, what was the need of an hour? The need of an hour was to attend to the bearded man, to the stranger who was badly wounded in his stomach. So the king nursed him properly by bandaging him and by providing him water. He cleansed his wound, bandaged it again and again, and then finally he gave him fresh water to drink. Meanwhile, the sun had set and it had become cool. So the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut. The man lay there quietly with his eyes closed. By now, the king was so tired after his walk and the work he had done that he lay down himself and also fell asleep. So the bearded man who was wounded, he also slept, and also the king slept there. When he awoke in the morning, it took his some time to remember where he was and who was the strange bearded man lying by his side and gazing intently at him. Intently, very attentively, eagerly. The meaning is given here. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake and was looking at him. "I do not know you, and I have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. So the king said that since he didn't know, so there was no question of forgiving him, since he didn't know what fault he did to him. Okay, what harm he did to him. So this was so far we understand that so far the king till then did not get any answer to his questions. Now let us see what happens in the lesson in the next session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.